Alright, welcome back everybody. So, last time we were playing, game crashed. But, hopefully that won't happen again. It's actually the only time I've ever seen a game crash like that. Alright, I already did the 2 puzzle things, so we're just going towards the 3rd one. Bar no other delays. Yeah, there's not much left of this game. Nope. Alright, never seen that before. I gotta go spectral. That's what those pillars are telling me. I am full of soup. Okay, so I need a dark Reaver. Ah, shit. So let me just double check. Yeah, I need the light Reaver over here, and then I need the dark one on the other side. Oh, thank goodness. Be fucking high. Okay, so that's not gonna work because fuck. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I need to do the light Reaver first. Or never mind, that bridge is gonna stay up. Oh, I guess for whatever reason I thought it was just timed. Yeah, it looks nothing like a heart. The original graphics. Yeah, there's a trophy for putting the wrong heart in the wrong spot. If you put it in the wrong place, then the statue behind it just kills you. Or, like, sends you to Spectral. And now that's all the elemental Reavers ready to go. Whee! Oh, I'm not quite done, I guess. Now we get the Air Reaver.
As the Reaver drained the forge of its vital energy, the tempest receded. I recovered myself and paused to admire my newly forged weapon, now imbued with the elemental power of air. Thus armed, I hope that I now finally possess the means to escape this wasted land.
Which means back through the swamp.
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised. At last, I had the means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago in the swamp. Now, perhaps, I could leave this wasteland and return to an era when Janos Ordrin still lived.
Has the power to obliterate targets or busted walls. Yeah, when you hit an enemy with it, it just makes them bounce up. The forge is sealed forever. Excuse me. Gotta make my way back to that turn. Yeah, that's... Gotta complain about this, either episode 1 or episode 2. I'm not as nostalgic for this game, and it's not a terrible game, it's just... My big issue being... I don't know, first one I played a lot of. And I still really love the story. But the second one is just... Gameplay itself just isn't as good. Same with the puzzles, like... They're kind of clever, like, and don't get me wrong, Story River 1 had very... It was block puzzles until, like, the very end, where you got a couple rotation puzzles. But they got creative with it. At certain points you had to rotate the blocks, or you had to move them around, so that way stack them in a certain way so you can actually progress. Like, Dual Mustang had to stack them up and then flip them over. So I can get them into the next basin. Hell. That's the problem too, like the combat just sucks in this one. Like the enemies they'll just go with strings, they'll just block, and you can't get a hit out. And they just chunk away so much health per hit. Okay, I'm gonna save, just in case, because I don't want to do all that again. Okay, I gotta get rid of that guy, because he's gonna hit me if I'm... Soul Reaver 1 had like a switch puzzle. In terms of Malkaya, you had to hold the switch and wait for him to start coming through to drop the gates on him in order to weaken him. Which, speed never went down, but I guess it's the idea, like, oh, you can't pull the big switch on him, because you gotta weaken him a bit, because it's like, yeah, the idea of, like, he's hurt and not going as fast as what he should be. I don't know. Oh. Alright. Waste of time and health trying to figure that out. Asshole! But if you do a Sunday morning. I mean, it's Saturday, but. Oh, we don't know what day it is in the world of Soul Reaver. Oh, you. Now we're back passing by where the Dark Reaver was. We're going up to another save thing. I already passed it. Yeah, I already passed it. Hey people, guess what we're gonna have to do once we get this next thing? We're gonna have to go back the way we just came. Isn't that awesome?
I had no choice but to act purely on blind faith. There was no way to tell what error this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will to the hand of fate.
Watch it be tomorrow. You just send yourself forward one day.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the error I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Ordrin still lived, I would find him. I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the door's not broken. Yeah, the small water doesn't seem to be as deep. He shall fall. Go ahead and save.
For all the butchery of Mobius's crusade, this massacre was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
Yes. Alright, aerial Reaver fonts right here. Yes, yes.
By all that is holy!
Here at last, in the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order, their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue, I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt. For I had seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
Not all the vampires are evil. The Reaver just feeding off my body. That's thankfully a mechanic they get rid of in the next game. Oh, this bitch. There's an achievement for killing 3 of those ladies without taking a hit. Fuck you, come on. Alright. Not sure what that was about. I just want to check something quick, because the game loads really quick. Or really fast. Quick game. Load game. Hey, free health. Oh, you fucks get up and blockable attacks. See, that's exactly what I mean. They block all your hits, they get that fucking blockable attacks, and they fucking swing quicker than you do. Nope. Oh, you bitch.
Get him.
Okay, she's gotta go. Okay, cause yeah, that's fair. Alright, the lake's drained.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Ordrin's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle: how to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
I wonder if Raziel ever got a chance to use his wings before being fucked him. Or like immediately go to Kane like hey Dad, check this out. That's a familiar symbol. Oh god, I opened the anus. Oh, it's like the final big puzzle. Well, just one more after this, but it's fairly simple. There's actually a thing for like doing this puzzle in 15 minutes, but that's probably not gonna happen. I have a vague recollection of what to do. So immediately, I need a Dark Reaver. take a name. So I gotta find a Dark Reaver font. You don't see me, you don't see me. Okay, I got the aerial Reaver, so what does that do for me? Yep. Aw. Okay. Okay, Davey. What were you supposed to do? Oh, okay, I think I remember. I gotta backtrack a little bit. There's gonna be a Dark Reaver font out here somewhere. Oh, that's cute. He's leaving his little footsteps. Raziel's got quite the stride. Let me grab the glass. Get some raspberry Kool-Aid. It's totally raspberry Kool-Aid. Don't stop asking questions. I was pretty sure, there's someone you can activate, so that way, if you do fall to the bottom, you can, yeah, that looks a little weird, but, hey, for the most part, I didn't have to do anything about the graphics for, like, the location. Oh god, someone's on the flute. Okay, it's in this section.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, This towering labyrinth seemed impassable. The object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Ordrum was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. But I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
Okay, I'm assuming I'm gonna need this right away. Yeah, that or I just made a horrible mistake. Okay, around here, things will start appearing if I need to, if I fall, I can slot in the aerial Reaver. Okay, so definitely not getting this done in 15 minutes, but I have a fairly good idea on how to complete all this. It's been a while though. I think I already fucked up. That just ceases to exist. Okay, need the light Reaver. I gotta do it at an angle where it's gonna hit both. There we go. And I do it on the other side too, I think. Maybe? No, maybe not. Come on down to the other side. Alright, gotta get myself a new batch of Kool-Aid. Or not, because, oh my god. Okay, now I get the Kool-Aid. Let's see, this punch bowl is at least endless. I had an endless bottle of root beer. Or Mountain Dew. Specifically the blue one. I'd be happy. Ooh, blue raspberry, actually. The blue raspberry, or like the one that tastes like rockets. It's damn good. Razzo just standing there awkwardly as narration takes place around him. Gross. So yeah, if I fall, I don't have to walk all the way back up. the aerial Reaver. I might as well activate this thing while I'm here. Because I'm pretty sure this stays on. Let's get my bearings. Okay, I'm gonna need the light Reaver again. So yeah, it's a good thing I activated it. I figured, oh, I don't need to activate it, I'm not dropping back down, but it's like, yes you are. Oh, too low. Okay. Alright, there's a spot for the Dark Reaver. Only takes 15 minutes to do this puzzle if you know what you're doing. Clearly I'm an idiot. Can I hit you from here? Yep. How the fuck are you not spilling anything, Raziel? Especially carrying it like that. Just carrying it like you haven't got a freaking care in the world. Dark Reaver font. Spot for the aerial Reaver. Yeah, the flute's back. I'll go ahead and activate this quick. I see a spot where they need a Dark Reaver. Alright, I gotta find where Buddy is. There's a key. Ooh, okay. That was close. Well, go ahead and take that soul. That just saved me a couple seconds. Whoa, that didn't look nice. if I'm really quiet, because there's just really not that much going on. I don't really have a lot of input for what's going on right now. Nearly at the top, though. Okay, I gotta find this guy. Yeah, a lot of detail they didn't have to change for the remake. It was just the character models. Pardon me. Okay. Let's see, aerial Reaver thing for a sec. I'm gonna make that. Okay, yeah. Alright, then it's this guy. Reaver. I might need the aerial one first though. Unless I was completely wrong about that sign. Janky. Okay, I think that gets shattered. Yep. Alright, now back to the bottom. I really like a little detail from when you're walking on the ice, and then when you're stepping on stone and the carpet. Alright, now what did that do for me? Okay, I think I might need a Dark Reaver now. Let's go double check. Okay, I think I gotta take this path around to get it. Or not this one. Nice. Should probably go get the Dark Reaver just to be safe, but we'll see. Nah, thinking about it, like, those things don't stay disabled that long. I'd have to pop it, run, and make my way to the next one. Another Air Reaver spot for reasons. I'll light it up just because, but I don't think I need it. Get a fresh batch of Kool-Aid. Alright, made it to the top. That wasn't as bad as I remember.
Janos Audrin?
It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt.
Raziel?
My child, what have they done to you?
He definitely got a good
I have been
facelift.
dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why.
For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them?
I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile.
I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation.
So, it's all true then. What Cain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please, take it away from me.
Uh-oh.
fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos! No!
My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius' staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
This will be the final elemental reaver we get, and yeah, there's like 2 things you do with it, basically. I'm gonna go ahead and save, because that was a lot of story. Okay, got rid of my elemental reaver, so wouldn't have been able to take the light one in here to speed things up. There's blood. Ooh, that was close. There's a lot of blood. I don't know what it is, just seeing that thing like pop up, just like. Alright. Where's that big crystal? So it doesn't matter how quick you go. Can't save me on us. Spoiler. Alright. Not quite finished yet. That son of a bitch. Okay, so the idea is you gotta get around those, kind of feels like you barely get enough time for that. Look at that statue in the back. It kind of looks like Raziel. Yeah, even where the hair is. Which makes sense, because it's like more squared than like how the PS2 graphics and hair was, and they touch up the statue in the back. Because they want the idea to be ambiguous. But yeah, yeah, the face is covered. It's got like the hair and then even the glowing eyes.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
Yeah, it's totally supposed to be Raziel. The only thing that's wrong is the wings. So Fire Reaver was the thing you got in the first Soul Reaver. It's the only thing remaining. And then they reused the idea for Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance. And there's human Raziel.
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
Raising the hands like I want to strangle you.
Bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I had taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Raziel. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
All right. it's gonna be a bunch of forced fights.
We've been expecting you, little Raziel.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future. For here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
You know, the body shape kind of resembles Raziel's a little bit, like the hollowed out stomach. Well, damn.
Do you really think you can save Nosgoth? Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
A lot of power behind this thing. Bitch.
There he is, the savior of Nosgoth.
Fucking come on! Yeah, where the hell's the planar portal? Right here.
There's another one!
Raziel.
Bitch. Alright, same thing right there. Oh, the water's going. Yeah, I'm at the font, because why not?
You shall not pass.
Okay, Balrog. Are you kidding me? Guess it's not gonna matter too much. Going down a hole. Oh, these things are in the spectral room. Okay. I guess that makes sense. They're like little ghoulies as well. Okay, continue going this way. Okay, I might actually need the arrow reaver. Son of a. Unless. Oh, wait, no. I don't want to die now. Yeah. Alright, jump over this way. I'll fire Reaver Forge. Yeah, why not? Let's get that back. Fire. myself back towards the Elder God. Alright, it's not like Soul Reaver 1, you lose Fire Reaver if you go in the water. Could have a save thing when I get up here.
You have failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Cain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate. This one thing I readily admit. I have been used by others time and again, but always I seem to stray from their path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
Really had nothing to say about that. Yeah, we're on the final stretch of the game. Like I said, it's not a long game. That's nice, gentlemen. Alright, and I'm making my way back towards this. What's actually funny is you can make your way back towards the Seraphim Stronghold, despite having no way to get into it. I think that's actually an achievement. To make your way there, then make your way back. Could be wrong though. Could be misremembered. What's really weird is you only have to get all the Server 1 trophies to platinum this game. There's a bunch of trophies for Soul Reaver 2, but they're not required for the game's platinum. If you care about that type of thing, which I do.
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
That's gonna sap the last mana in it. get him. Do it. Oh, you putz. Oop. I was right there at the Fire Reaver too. Light it up. The thing is, the fucking Fire Reaver isn't even the last thing you get to use for the puzzle. For a final puzzle, it's just, you still gotta go for the, Light Reaver. Of course. Are you... We got an unblockable attack that we can just spam over and over again. Because combat's just not that great in this game. Cool, do I get anything like that when the enemies are blocking? No, of course not. They'll just block you infinite. Oh my god. Yeah, not so fun now, is it? What's the purpose of this down here? Unless you use it as drinking water. So I don't even see any boats down here either. Yeah, skip.
Return to hell!
Seize him!
Drum.
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across
I don't
my
think I
path.
saved.
Again, I
it's
sensed
not
nothing
gonna
of
matter.
that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now. And I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose? Corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. But it's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik. Bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin. Now that I had taken it up, the Reaver and I were inescapably joined. The harder I tried to release the blade, the more tightly my hand gripped the hilt, as if possessed of its own will.
So, the screaming you heard in the background, at the start of Blood Omen, Vorador attacks Circle and you hear him calling for Malik. Well, this basically shows that he was distracted with Raziel, and that's why he wasn't able to save the Circle in time. Mobius had set him up.
Come to take your revenge, demon.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Cain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Cain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of
He's
their
not even
lifeblood.
gripping the sword.
I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
So, more or less, we're going in reverse order of when these guys were born. Malik was the last born. Zephon being second to last. Because Malik was last born, he received the poorest of Cain's gifts.
The Reaver exerted some mysterious power over me. It sustained my energy, enabling me to prolong my physical manifestation indefinitely. In fact, bonded to the blade as I was, I could no longer shift into the spirit realm at will. Nor was I able to summon the Reaver's twin, for my Wraithblade had been disabled in the confrontation with Mobius.
So yeah, you're basically invincible for this. Yeah, this is... I guess it's supposed to be that climactic fight, but this is kind of boring. Especially if not how... with how... Especially with how not great the combat is. Fuck! This is as boring as it looks. And their souls fly up before you have a chance to absorb them.
Milkaya and Zephon fell before my blade. I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
Yeah. Shame the fight's pretty boring though. I remember it not being that big of a deal when I was younger, but like... Where's that gate? There it is. Duma.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Cain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Cain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
That's what I mean, they don't stop blocking. And yet they're granting an unblockable attack.
you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Tyrell, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Tyrell had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Tyrell would not.
Fuck! I can't even do my projectiles. Oh yeah, because it would try to toss a weapon if I did.
So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
So I kind of wonder if human Raziel figured it out, or if it's like... Alright, dogs are barking. Look, every time I unmute... Sorry, my remote's acting a little funny. Keeps making me go right or left when I want to go right.
And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Cain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So,
I mean, it's
this was my terrible
kind of doing it now, trying to devour
this
himself.
Purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me.
Here's Cain.
Are you enjoying this game? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me. I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Cain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Cain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Cain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Cain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
And that was Soul Reaver 2. Alright. Only complaint I can make for this game, like story-wise, you saw both instances where Mobius' staff disabled the Wraithblade. You get the massive revelation at the end that Raziel was that Wraithblade. It's just that his soul originally had been trapped in that blade for millennia, and became like a soul devouring entity cannot change its shape back. So, kinda begs the question, why didn't the staff affect Raziel then? Bit odd, but overall not really. Not a big deal. Isn't kind of thing. Anyway, that was story number 2. Hope y'all enjoyed. And then, I don't know if it might be tomorrow, might be next week. I'll boot up Defiance, and that'll be the last in this trilogy. Well, catch y'all later.